Hey everybody and welcome to another Disventure Camp interview! My name is Silly Billy, but you can call me Billy. We are slowly but surely making our run towards the end of the season, and today we have another exciting interview in store for you. Please welcome my first guest. He is one of the OGs in the Total Drama YouTube landscape and as well as the voice of my partner in crime. Please welcome the man behind Derek, Stevie G, aka Noah, aka Steven. Stevie, welcome to the show.
Thank you. I'm very happy to be here. This is very long overdue.
Right, yeah, I've been waiting for this interview, man. This is gonna be so exciting.
Agreed.
So, to the people who might not know you at home, what are you doing with your lives? But also, can you quickly introduce yourself to the audience?
Great question. What am I doing with my life? I ask myself that all the time. So for those who don't know me, my name is Stephen Gordon, but most prominently known as Noah or Total Drama Noah on YouTube. For many years, I made a lot of Total Drama videos. And since getting in my old age, I've slowed down a little bit, but slowly but surely we're making the return. And one of the many ways I've been doing that is through these awesome shows like Disventure Camp. And that's kind of what I've been up to now. Very happy to be back and be on this episode.
We're definitely going to be diving a little deeper into what you're doing on YouTube currently. But before we do, let me quickly introduce a second guest, because if you listened correctly, then you might have heard that I said first guest. So yeah, we have a second guest as well today. When he's not busy overanalyzing the political ideology of the Disventure Camp cast, he's actually voicing one of the characters there too. Please give it up for the voice behind Jake, Josh. Welcome to the show, Josh.
Hi, great to be here. It's a genuine surreal feeling, hearing you do Steven's YouTube intro and shite when I used to watch him, and now I'm here. But anyways, hello.
Yeah, I have a bit of the same thing. I used to watch Noah's channel as well before I actually joined YouTube in the first place, so it's a surreal feeling here as well.
Hell yeah.
Super fun. So, Josh, can you tell us a little bit about who you are between us?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, yeah, I don't have, Steven's legacy, to go off of. You can just say, oh, we did this, and then move on. Hi, I'm Josh. I use she, they pronouns. I am a poli-sci student, as you may know from my brilliant video where I overanalyze everyone's political views on Disventure Camp. Also, I've been doing YouTube for like ages, but it's been in waves where I'll do it and then I'm like, I hate this, and then I quit it, and then I restart like months later. So that's currently on the grind. I Twitch stream as well on good old Twitch TV/Walk Rangers Live. I play a lot of Pokemon. That's mainly what it is. And yeah, besides that, I voice acting, as you may have guessed by the whole Jake thing, and do some theater acting as well.
Sweet. So, welcome to the show. You are a good reminder that I should check what people's pronouns are.
Yeah, I didn't want to interrupt you. I don't know what to say.
I'm so sorry. I heard you say that, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's...
You're fine. My bad. I probably should have told you in advance.
Before we begin, the thing that always confuses me is, well, your name being Josh, and then you being cast as Jake, and the combination of Jake and Josh just always reminds me of the Drake and Josh show. I don't know if
it's so funny you said that, because when I was a kid, my best friend, like childhood best friend, was named Drake.
No, so, shut up.
I know it literally was. I mean, they don't go by that now, but that was their name, and it was like every fucking moment of like I'd be going about my day, be like, oh, Drake and Josh, and I'd be like, haha, very funny, shut up. It was painful. I've watched the show a bit, and you know what? I think I'd much rather be Josh Peck than Drake Bell, so I think I'll take it.
Drake Bell went to jail, didn't he? Or something?
Yeah, he did. Well, he did after changing his name to Drake Campana, I think.
Yeah. Thought he was
I mean, your profile picture suggests a mugshot, so maybe you are a little bit like Drake.
Oh my gosh.
We don't talk about that. My actions are none of your business, silliest Bilius. Thank you very much.
Both of ours are the most wanted people. Walker Ranger and Dirty Ricky Ortiz.
Dirty Ricky Ortiz. Lock that man up.
This is a deep cut. This video will not release for probably another 6 months, but soon the internet's about to be very amazingly blessed with the sight of Dirty Ricky Ortiz on their screens.
And me
as soon as possible. Yes, and me.
Oh no. So we have that to look forward to.
Yes.
Is that part of the great Noah comeback on YouTube as well?
This is actually, so my other channel that I have, just called Stevie G. I have released one video on that, and it's whenever I went to Phoenix, Arizona with a bunch of people from the Ballooniverse, as it's now been dubbed, basically just the people who have been a part of like Reunion, Kruger Mansion, those types of projects. We all went over to Phoenix, Arizona. We were hosted by the amazing Dylan Clark, and we played a Survivor game that Dylan and I hosted and recorded it for YouTube, and I edited all of that. It took me forever, but it's one of my favorite projects I've ever made, and we released that, and that's done pretty well for being on that random channel. And this next project is this Big Brother competition that we've done. It was a massive game hosted by Dylan Clark. He smashed it. We have a phenomenal cast. Such an amazing cast. I'm not kidding. This is like when Survivor All-Stars, for the Survivor fans out there, like when you watch All-Stars or Heroes versus Villains for the first time and you see like this awesome group, like this massive colliding of like the Avengers. That's what this felt like for me. And I'm geeking out because I'm also playing it. It was insane. That was such a fun video. But that's the next project dropping on the Stevie G channel, and I'm very excited for that.
Oh, that sounds like a lot of fun.
It's a good video. Definitely
Oh
watch
my
that
gosh.
when it comes out.
So are you in this as well, Josh?
Yes.
Oh,
it was
yes.
it was very fun to film and be around of. Obviously, you know, I ain't gonna spoil the masterpiece, but it genuinely, like, I can tell, judging by the last one as well, it'll be a fucking banger, man.
I can't wait. So for the people at home who might not know this, you guys are actually pretty good friends behind the scenes as well, right?
Yeah, we met in Salt Lake City when we premiered Kruger Mansion. Josh pulled up with the crew, and we met for the first time actually there.
Yeah.
And I think it was like the second night. Everybody's just kind of like filtering through rooms, seeing, you know, hanging out with each other or whatever. And Josh and I just ended up chilling in the same room for like 4 hours talking about horror movies and Survivor. It was
After
awesome.
like not talking for the first 2 days of the
that was
trip
like
at
the first
all.
time we had spoken in like the entire first 2 days, and then we just sat there and talked for like 4 hours.
No, it was great, man. It was a good I guess conversational click there that just went on for so long about it's garbage pretty much, but regardless, it's fun.
Whenever Josh left, it was a very sad time, because for one, Josh left, and then also it's like that realization, like, damn, it's over. But I'm so excited for the next big trip like that. They're so fun.
Oh yeah,
We'll
you
have to get a Silly Billy appearance.
Oh, absolutely. I do have one of the props from the Big Brother video still with me.
Oh my gosh.
I'll have to tell you later, but I still have it.
Tell me. Oh,
You
I
have
think
it.
I know what you're talking about.
I think you know exactly what one it was, because it was in my pocket.
Do I have a similar prop?
Yes, you probably do,
Okay,
Mr. Gordon. You probably do have a similar prop.
Yeah. Okay.
I guess I think that's going into spoiler territory for the Big Brother video, right?
It's a teaser. It's a teaser.
A little hint to get us excited.
It's so much fun. I'm so excited.
Yeah.
Because it's one thing to be following these shows for years on, like, whether it's Total Drama or the live action stuff, and then it's another thing to go in and do it, especially with your friends, because it's a whole other element. Because not only are you actually playing it physically, it's much harder to lie in person than over Discord when you're actually there doing it, and then you're having to lie to your friends. It's like that. The strategical plus emotional and everything just ties into it. And it's a lot harder than people think, but man, it's so fun.
It sounds like a lot of fun. Yeah, I'm really excited to be doing the Total Drama Duck Pond soon. And with those Discord games, it's pretty easy to just lie, because you can't read emotions through text. But in person, you have to put on this poker face, and it's a whole different ordeal, I can imagine. But you've actually been in the Total Drama content sphere for a while now, right?
Yeah, since 2012, man.
That's insane. That's really long. So what got you into making Total Drama videos in the first place?
Oh my gosh. Well, so I had done YouTube before that. I started August 31st, 2010 was when I uploaded my very first video. Everything was that day. And we had this backyard wrestling show, and so it was me and a couple guys. Yeah, this is true. We had our own WWE in the backyard, and we would like put each other through tables and like we would like for real bust each other open and like get bloody so that it would look cool, like how they did it on the WWE, and we would like hit each other with chairs and stuff. We were crazy. And so anyways, I moved away, and so I didn't continue that show with those guys. Like, it's hard to wrestle yourself, so I didn't have anybody else to do it with. So I kind of retired the show. What I ended up doing was I got big into gaming, and I started playing a lot of the Cartoon Network games. And this is what I always find is like a funny story when talking about getting into Total Drama for the first time, because everybody always talks about their first episode that they watched. But for me, I started playing the games on the Cartoon Network website long before I had ever actually seen the show.
Really?
So, yeah, so I found out like who was getting eliminated on Total Drama Island from the website, not the shows, because we didn't have cable at my house. But when I would go to my grandma's house, we'd have internet, so I'd get on their computer and I would play the games. And you could go, and back then in like 2007, 2008, it would show like the big cast photo of all the contestants, and you could hover over each of them, and like they would say a catchphrase from like an episode. It was usually just something from the pilot, and they would be grayed out if they had been eliminated, and it would say their placement, like who voted them out and everything. It was sick.
I remember those.
Oh,
yeah. And
that's
so yeah,
nice.
that's how I got into it. And then eventually I actually started getting into it. It's funny that you mentioned your Total Drama game that you're about to be working on, Billy, because that's how I started making the videos. Was I saw a bunch of people playing like Total Drama games, and they were called camps back in the day. They're not really referred to as that anymore, but we used to just call them Total Drama camps. And you would play them, and you would just sign up as a contestant or whatever, and you would play through like YouTube inboxes or something like that back in the day, and then eventually we evolved into Skype. I remember some games like usually being on Instagram or like Kick. We'd play it on like anything, and eventually
so funny.
Yeah, and then I just decided that I wanted to host, and then that's whenever I started hosting, and then I hosted forever, and then I started my own custom show, kind of like Disventure Camp, except it was made in PowerPoint and not like actual animation. And then from there I just kept going, and then decided to make a commentary one day, and then it did well, and I was like, oh, screw it, this was fun, let's keep doing it. And then I just never stopped.
Oh, so it basically just spiraled from you wanting to play these games, and then slowly but surely getting into the commentary of Total Drama. That's fascinating.
Yeah, I had zero desire to ever like become any sort of person in the commentary world, but the thing is it didn't exist back then. Like, there was nobody like the Total Drama community that we think of now that's so prosperous and so amazing and beautiful wasn't a thing back then. Like, I kind of made it out the mud in a way. It was ass back then. Like, it was like there was nobody. There were like, it was just none of us. We just like would play the games, and that was it. Like, the videos that you saw were camp episodes. That was it. Like, nobody was doing a video on why Lashana was robbed an island or anything like that, or like when World Tour was dropping. Like, nobody was doing that because it just didn't exist for like any cartoon. So whenever I started doing it for Total Drama, it was like, it had really never been done like by anybody. It was weird that I just randomly decided, like, I'm gonna do a video on why we should renew Total Drama. And I was like, all right, let's do it. And so I just started talking about it, and then it got like a few thousand views, and then I made a petition, and that got like a few hundred signatures, and then it just started going from there. And then I was like, screw it. Next thing I knew, I was getting freaking PO boxes from Fresh TV and covering Total Drama for 3 years. I don't know how it all happened. It just came out of nowhere.
Yeah, that's so cool.
And honestly, I guess just to speak to that, to the whole like the community didn't exist. Like, I remember I got into Total Drama back like when it premiered, like originally. Like, I guess that's the wonder of, growing up in Canada in the era on Cartoon Network. But I remember being a kid, and you really love it. So you go and you look up Total Drama or whatever on YouTube. And this is like, I don't know, 2009 or something like that, like that era. This is like early days. And I'm at my grandmother's house or whatever. And it's just videos that's pretty much just like though, like Total Drama, like on YouTube as a whole, it's come so far because it used to just be like slideshows of all the contestants of like palette swaps or something.
Right.
And,
yeah,
like,
and the My Ways and such. Yeah.
The My Way still exists, but they're, like it was a huge thing. It'd be like Total Drama characters as Simpsons, and then it would be like a picture of Lindsay, but they made her skin yellow.
Total Drama characters in real life, and it was always like LaShawn as Raven Simone.
Yeah. And then some like poorly photoshopped Samuel L. Jackson as Chef.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. That was the content back then, and then it wasn't until like Steven, like you really, and like Ricky started like talking about it that it became like what it is now.
I mean, I remember the show being on when I was still young, but then it was just watching random episodes that would appear at the television at the time, and I wouldn't get into the show itself until middle school. Which is, well, the first season that I actively watched as it came out was Pocketoo. So you can imagine,
Wow.
it was a rough for me.
Yikes.
Hey, it's not that bad. I am a Pocketoo defender.
Well, you're like one of 5 people, so
I know.
good for you.
I'll watch it over All Stars.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. I mean, that's like the general opinion, right? It's All Stars and Pocketoo at the bottom, and then there's a little debate about which one is worst.
Hot take: I'll watch Pocketoo over Revenge.
Oh no!
Oh, no.
I like Revenge. I liked it as a kid. Every time I rewatch it, I like it a lot less. I just don't care about any of the characters in the merge.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we are just going to continue this interview with Stevie. Josh is unfortunately leaving.
But listen, I loved it as a kid. Every time I rewatch it, I like it a little less because I'm like, man, I see the holes now, and I'm like, I don't like these characters as much as I thought I did.
Okay, well, have you watched Pocketoo like with your eyes open once, or?
To be fair, okay, I'll give you that. Pocketoo, the first 3 episodes are boring. I was watching it because my boyfriend had never seen it, and we were watching it a while ago, and we got to the one where Rodney gets booted, the stupid like truth or chicken one or whatever. And I genuinely fell asleep while watching it. That episode's boring as hell. But there are parts of Pocketoo, and the characters themselves like have potential to where I like it more than Revenge. Because Revenge is just so like, I don't know, a character talks to Scott and then they get eliminated. And then I really don't care about Zoe or Mike or Cameron. And then it's just, I don't know. They're just very boring protagonists to me.
That hurts.
That's why you gotta become a Lightning stan.
I like Lightning. I like Lightning. He's
Lightning
funny.
is the GOAT.
Yeah,
like him as a
he's
villain,
funny.
but that's a whole other story.
I'm starting a fan club. Total Drama Lightning with 2 G's is my new name.
Is that your new name? I like it. I'm a fan.
It's part of the big comeback
I'm back,
plan.
baby.
Lightning. Yeah. So what I find interesting is that the current landscape of Total Drama on YouTube is a lot of very ambitious and large scale custom-made Total Drama shows. Like we've had Reunion, which sadly then got cancelled, but we've now had, of course, Disventure Camp, and I know Mysteries of Kruger Mansion is kind of like expanding on the brand. Like you see different kind of game modes. I know that Cove is working on this massive idea of like 4 different seasons, which all come together.
I am also in.
Which really,
Yeah.
You found your way into all of them.
I voice VJ in Reality Resort.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
So, what do you think is the future of the landscape of Total Drama on YouTube? What can we expect in the near distant?
Well, I think kind of what's important to note is like this. It's not really that much of like a recent phenomenon, I guess. I think the first one like this was Total Drama Gone Wild. I think, if you remember that.
Yeah.
If anyone knows what I'm talking about, yeah.
Oh yeah.
That was. I forget how many years ago that was. 6 maybe.
That was like 2016. It was Bunkall Productions, like 2016. Yeah.
Yes, it was. Yeah. Which, by the way, back then I actually was talking to Bunkall Productions about something. I can't remember. Anyways, I think like
shout out Jake.
Real. Anyways, I think that's kind of like where this whole thing kind of starts, and then it really seems like just to have kind of snowballed since then, because you had Gone Wild, and then you had Osuke Island, and then it's kind of just like been progressing in recent years and getting faster and faster with how many of these come out, you know?
Exactly. And
yeah.
Noah, to tie, or Stevie, Noah, whatever, to tie that to your channel, because I remember a little while back you made an announcement video of wanting to do something like this yourself as well, right?
Yes, yeah. I made a video, basically, essentially like a call to action on like if anybody wanted to join this team that I was trying to craft to make something like the shows that are coming out, to reach out. And I've got some pretty awesome people reaching out, and hopefully we're in the ways of making something happen soon. I think it's looking pretty promising. But yeah, I had a show idea similar to this, and also some other projects that are in the works that I'm really excited about, but I'm not the only one involved, so for those reasons I gotta stay on the DL about. But when they come out, they're gonna be really cool, and whenever I can talk about them, I'm going to, because they're really exciting. But yeah, some massive stuff that I'm working on. But honestly, like, for all the cool stuff that I'm working on, I'm like, in terms of like that I've created, I'm more excited about the stuff that I'm involved in that I haven't created, like being involved with Disventure Camp, and you know, the possibilities of the future of you know, what's next for Disventure Camp after this season, Cove's Reality Gauntlet, the insanely ambitious but freaking awesome show, and then of course Kruger Mansion, and I was in Reunion as well, so I guess all of those. Just being able to be involved in like all of the big projects that we're talking about that have been going on forever. Like, it's cool to think about the fact that I was I was talking to the creator of the Bonkile stuff, and then like I've known Jesse of Osuke Island forever, and being involved in all of these, you know, Reunion, Disventure, Cove stuff, Kruger Mansion. Like, I'm really blessed to be able to be a part of stuff for so long, because I've been around forever, and we didn't have this stuff when I first came here. You know, it was pretty bare, and now we've got a lot of really cool stuff. So it's nice to be able to be around, because even at like, I'm only 22, but I feel like I'm a grandpa compared to a lot of people just because I've been around here forever. So it's nice to still be involved in the Cool Kids Club. Like, it feels good.
Yeah, it's great to see how, especially how ambitious those shows get, and with I think a major benefiting factor to that is also that, well, Total Drama was just not making more content themselves. So the fans, which is the coolest part of this, were like, okay, well, screw it. If they're not gonna do it, then let's do it ourselves, right? And well, the argument kind of fails nowadays with the Total Drama reboot, of course, and then I believe the second part of the reboot already coming out like in December of this year or something like that.
Yeah, it's around then, I believe, December.
Quick side note, has it had an official American release by now?
I don't think so. I don't even think the first one has been like actually released.
It either hasn't or it like just did. I saw something a while ago, but I don't remember if that was it premiering here in Canada or for you guys in the US.
That's
it's coming
so
up,
stupid.
but I think Canada's getting it first, but it's already premiered in some countries.
Yeah, and we've had the Total Drama, the Flash game, like the Take the Crown game it was. So it's weird that doesn't coincide with like the global launch. I hope for the next season that the American audience doesn't have to wait like 7 years before it releases.
That game actually is only available in Europe. You can't play it unless you use a VPN here.
Yeah, same. It's only available in the
UK.
Yeah, in the UK. Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, really, I'm hoping that they expand it to other places, because honestly, the game's pretty fun.
I thought it was pretty fun too. Yeah.
Yeah, it loses a lot of the charm when you realize like that they just vote you off if you lose a challenge. Like that's how it's programmed. But besides that, you know, it's it's fun before you know that.
Yeah. I thought the entire idea of voting altogether was just pretty cute.
That was actually a main inspiration behind something that I'm working on right now. I have like a fair amount of I guess like a computer science background, and I've done ROM hacks and game development and like game modding for years. And my boyfriend, who drew my little profile picture here, is a super talented artist, and I'm working on a game right now that I guess is kind of in the same vein as like your Disventure Camps and your Cougar Mansions and all that, where it's more like in like a Danganronpa style interactive visual novel in the kind of voting total drama survivor format. So that's my current project, but you know.
That sounds fun. Yeah. So let's tie this discussion, because we've been talking about all the different kinds of shows and such. Let's go back to a little smaller scale. Let's go back to Disventure Camp itself, and let's go back to everyone's favorite. Like Josh, you mentioned, how many fans were there of Jake, in your opinion?
Oh, 4.
Yeah.
Listen, I mean, he was not a popular character at all when I first, joined the Discord server and stuff. And I think it's definitely, people have grown on him now, but I was horrified coming into this project and seeing how everyone hated Jake so much. No one liked that man. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to get attacked for voicing this guy. So that's always been a fear of mine.
Has that happened so far, or have you gone?
Not. I've gotten a lot of good reception. It's hard for me because this really is this is the first voice acting role I've ever really done. I've auditioned for a lot, but this is the first one I've landed.
Really?
So it's yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Unless you can count one visual novel, which I don't even think is out yet, that I'm in with Turg. Actually, Turg's in that too.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah. But besides that, which isn't even out yet, this is the first role I've actually gotten. So the feedback has been nice. I haven't gotten too much. There's been a lot of Tom fans and Miriam fans. I think mainly it's been good. I get a lot of pings on Discord and stuff, and I get messages in my Twitter feed. Just a lot of Jake hate. But from what I can tell, it's definitely died down a lot since the beta.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty stupid. I'm not a big fan of Jake, but it's pretty stupid to go after the person voicing them, right?
Yeah.
It's not like you make this character bad. In fact, I think you're at saving grace. Now I'm curious, what are your thoughts on Jake?
Well, I mean, on a personal level, I relate to Jake on an uncanny level. The day I sent in my audition for Disventure Camp was the last day I had spoken to my grandmother before she passed away. And the day that I got, you say that in a too happy way. Oh,
no way!
No way! Heck yeah!
Sick! No, and the day that I got the Instagram DM from Jared and Robert that I was in was the day of her funeral, and to get cast as guy whose grandmother has died it hits close to home, and I was actually really happy to play that kind of character. And there's a lot in this episode I relate to, so I think he's a very, very realistically written character. I think he's very, very well done. So props to the writers on that, because everything that Jake expresses with all that, I mean, it's stuff that, especially in recent times with my history, that I have gone through many times.
Yeah, Jake is an interesting character to me as well. He's very well done, like you said. The toxicity, you can feel it. There's a reason that people hate Jake so much, and the characters that are often the most hated are probably one of the best written. So, well, I mean, there's that. But yeah, Jake didn't really do it for me either. I
mean, I'm not saying he's not doing it for me. I actually really like him, and I love playing the character and watching it. Sometimes when I watch it, I forget that I'm in it, by the way. But it's probably just my imposter syndrome speaking. But I mean, honestly, when I watch it, I think he's I think he's really well written. I think he fits into the story, and I'm obviously biased, but I quite like his role in the story. And I mean, I definitely side with him more than the others in some of the situations that he gets himself into.
Yeah, it's gonna be a little weird what I'm about to say, but I wish that he got to get away a little bit more from the Tom and get a couple of storylines here and there with other people, and he gets those because he has a pretty sizable storyline with Miriam. He has one with Ellie in the final 2 episodes that he's in as well. But still, it really feels like whenever there's a possibility, I mean, it's also because Jake is just really thirsty, but it's whenever there's a possibility, Jake and Tom are together, and usually there's not anybody else around, and I think that doesn't help the character.
I guess so, but at the same time, I mean, barring kind of the spy stuff, which is kind of just more sequestered into the post-credit scene, scenes. I mean, I definitely think Jake gets out of that deal better than Tom does. I think, like, on average, Jake definitely has a lot more scenes by himself and with other characters than Tom.
Yeah, true.
Scenes definitely more relate around him. And, I mean, that's hard when you're writing any sort of romance, especially in the kind of the Survivor setting, because Survivor, with a few exceptions, doesn't really have that. But, like, when you're writing that kind of plot line, it's really hard to kind of break out of putting them into that situation and giving them relations to other characters that are believable without, you know, sacrificing, I guess, screen time that a relationship would need to feel believable between two strangers.
True, yeah. So what about you, Stevie? What is your opinion on Jake?
I had an interesting relationship with Jake's character where he didn't really do much for me. I honestly, you know, weirdly, I found myself just always getting confused by why every other scene he like had his watermelon shirt on, and then the next scene he didn't have a watermelon on, and that honestly, like, it would distract me so much from his dialogue. I'd just be wondering about this freaking watermelon the whole time. No, I'm just kidding. You know, Jake, honestly, when you were just talking about the fact that he's supposedly a very hated character, that had me kind of surprised, because there's definitely other characters I feel a little bit more strongly about.
Same.
Yeah, and it's kind of surprising me that he's referred to as one of like the worst characters, because I would wholeheartedly disagree with that. I think Jake has been pretty fun, and I like how he basically, because if you think about it with Jake, it's not just him. He's affecting other characters. Like, he's kind of the only plot that Tom got when after the fact of him, you know, being how he is. And Miriam wasn't really doing anything, right? She was just kind of like the old lady, and then she starts getting with Jake, and then they start blossoming this duo and this friendship that sparks a whole other character out of just Jake. And I think that's something that's often overlooked as well. So yeah, definitely hard to disagree with the negative talks towards Jake. I think he's pretty solid all around.
Right, yeah. So I think one thing that contributes a lot to the Jake hate is that there are certain characters in the show that you're meant to dislike. Fiore, Grit, Alec are characters that are on the evil side, you know, so liking them or disliking them is part of the character there. And I don't think the same is true for Jake. He's just a very flawed human being with a pretty interesting love story, all things considered. And the fact that he is dislikable in his toxic traits, but is also portrayed as one of the characters on the good side, I think is what makes people dislike him so much. And I think characters like Aiden and James from the previous season run into the same thing as well. Like, they are really toxic towards Carol and others. But they're the good guys, so we're supposed to root for them. So
I think there's a pretty big difference between Jake and Aiden and James. I think just in the way of like how they're portrayed, I think Jake is a very realistic depiction of somebody in that kind of situation. And like, I could see that like happening, you know. Aiden and James, I personally, I never really liked them as characters at all. I really don't like Aiden, and I don't really care for James. So maybe I'm just biased in my own, you know, personal beliefs there. But I get that, but I feel like I kind of disagree in a way.
That's so funny, because in the first few episodes, I did not see a difference between Aiden and Jake. I thought they were pretty much identical characters in the beginning, and I was worried that they were going to get Jake all the way to the end like they did with Aiden, and that we're going to watch this episode unfold exactly the same way as with Aiden. Luckily it didn't. I mean, Jake's story is definitely more interesting, and then you can say if that's for the better or for the worse. But in the beginning, I thought the two were, I mean, they were both naive. They were both put in this main character spotlight, both in the romantic interest with another guy as well. They felt like they were going to be the character that was going to be played by the villains a lot, and I think that is still true for both Aiden and for Jake. So I definitely can see the comparison, but it's interesting that you mentioned you don't.
I just think that the way they do it with Jake is a far more realistic depiction than with Aiden.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
agreed.
I think the way they did it with Aiden was very, very flawed, and I don't see it as a character, and I just don't. When watching it for the first time, like before, obviously I was cast as Jake, I didn't like Aiden in that you know, plot at all. Partly because I don't really think Rhea did much wrong, which, you know, say what you want about that can of worms. But I don't know. And comparing kind of that to Jake's situation, like I can understand where Jake's coming from there, and I get it. With Aiden, I'm just like, I don't know. I just don't care, and I don't like him. Like I don't know.
Yeah, well, at least Jake has the advantage of being consistent in his toxic traits, whereas Aiden is sometimes like really do-goody and gullible and such, and then other times he's just a huge asshole.
Yeah, no, I absolutely.
Yeah, and Jake, you can like derive where his sense of insecurity is like really big, and that is a big drive for his character, all things considered, and it leads to a lot of toxic actions. But yeah, it's definitely, I'll give Jake that. He's definitely consistent throughout most of the show, yeah. Sweet. I think we've done our complaining about Jake for now. I think it's time...
You're complaining, my friend.
My complaining,
You've done your complaining about Jake.
I've done my complaining. I've done my share. That makes it seem like that was the entire point of this interview. It was
Josh,
not.
I'm gonna tell you how much I hate your character.
I try to bring up the positives of each character. For Jake, it's just a little harder. What about we are going to watch this episode together?
Alrighty.
Let's do it. Yeah, this is the first episode where I improvised lines in the dialogue and it got used. And so... Yeah,
that's so cool, yeah.
There's there's gonna be a line that just kind of comes out of left field. They're gonna be like, huh? And yeah, you'll be able to tell. Because it's like, I was honestly shocked that they used it.
I'm really curious now, yeah.
I'm excited
I'm
then.
Looking forward to it, yeah.
Oh yeah, there's a couple of them.
Here we go. 3, 2, 1, bam. Oh, it's not bamming. Okay, here we go, for real.
Previously on Disventure Camp, campers had a nighttime scavenger hunt, searching for necklaces and completing obstacle courses. Seriously, Jake, you've got to stop falling for that, my man.
Yeah.
Unfortunately for Ellie, Fiora exposed her lies.
I'm so jealous that you got to do the recaps. I was hoping I could do it.
I thought we were going to switch them off. I was surprised that I got to do all of them. Yeah, they're really fun to do as well.
Oh, I bet.
We voted out tonight.
I know y'all typically didn't make it to them, but whenever we would do like a table read, whenever the scripts would come out, everyone who was there would like all at once try to do an a cappella cover of the theme song. It sounded about just as well as you think it would.
I attended one, yeah, and it was horrifying. I laughed so hard when I heard that the first time.
Yeah.
It was all people just going all different tunes to each other. And then times 10.
You got Tom mad at me and you voted him out.
You think I get some sick pleasure from this?
Maybe you
A
do.
little.
I feel terrible, Jake.
Oh, don't pull that crap.
Ellie is a terrible person.
Yeah, I really
Right,
don't like
yeah.
Ellie as a character at all, frankly.
No, and I think what's weird, especially in the last episode, like Ellie's all like, oh, I really don't want to hurt Jake, he's my friend, blah, 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 and then decides to do it and goes so hard on the cheating story. It's like, I mean, I know why you're doing it, but you don't have to kick the man while he's down.
None of it is targeted at me!
Yeah.
Absolutely.
What a great morning! You know this is your fault, right?
Beat her up, Miriam.
Kick her ass.
Run her over with your Walmart scooter. You got it.
But you've proven you're just like Gret, Fiore, and Alec. You're a no-good troublemaker. Anything to win money, right?
Tell her, Miriam.
Shows your
That's the grandma's ultimate swear word.
Okay, I'm not
Troublemaker.
ashamed for wanting to win, as if you don't.
Why would you vote with them in the first place? They betrayed you.
After we voted out Fiore and Alec, who would have been next?
All right, fine. It would have been you.
See why I did what I did?
But it's only putting her up one spot.
Yeah, it really doesn't help her either way.
No, true.
Maybe you should have done things in a way where
I don't know. Maybe that's just my like Super Survivor fan brain talking. But
Yeah.
absolute boneheaded maneuver on her part.
Yeah. Oh, who's that stud?
I don't know. I bet he's like super talented and
Today's
cool.
challenge. Yeah. I hope you're.
Holy shit, is that Carl Wheezer VEVO voicing that guy?
It is.
That's insane.
Right, yeah, wait, pause. We have to talk about that.
They gotta talk about
No,
Carl Wheezer
no.
VEVO.
What?
No.
What? I was...
Steven, you think I'd let you get away from that, man?
I always ask the people that I'm about to interview if they have some topics to bring in. And Josh was like, wait, you really need to ask about this Carl Wheezer VEVO thing. So, Stevie, enlighten us. What happened?
Yeah, so a few years ago, I realized I could do a Carl Wheezer impression, and I had seen that somebody had done like a slow dancing in the dark by JG.
Yeah,
as Carl
that's
Wheezer.
Billy
Billy
Cobb, I
Cobb,
think.
yeah.
I love him so much. Unrelated,
And,
but yes.
So I was like, you know, why don't I do something like this? So I did Never Gonna Give You Up by Rick Astley, and I'm as Carl Wheezer, and I'm like, okay, I can post this on my Noah channel, but then everybody that I know is gonna know that I did a Carl Wheezer song cover. So I should probably make a new channel and not tell anybody about it. And so naturally that's what I did, and I called it Carl Wheezer VEVO because there's always a VEVO for every artist.
Right.
So Carl Wheezer didn't have one. So I was like, oh well, Carl Weezer's gonna have one.
didn't have
He's
one.
gonna win a Grammy. He's gotta have a VEVO. It's like a, you know, it's one of the steps. It's
rite
part
of
of the
passage.
process. Exactly. So I made it. I posted Never Gonna Give You Up. It did all right, and then I'm like, okay. Like it probably got like 10,000 views, and I'm like, okay, you know, that wasn't bad, but like those usually like blew up. So I'm like, damn, I did something wrong, and I realized someone had already done that. So, you know, there's no desire for a new one. What's a big song coming out? And it was WAP by Cardi B and Meg Thee
Oh,
Stallion
God.
came out, and
No.
everybody, it had blown up, and I was like 18, and I was like petrified listening to it to get the lyrics down, because the song is just one of the worst pieces of ass music I've ever heard in my entire life. So it was torture. It was torturous. I would have rather been kidnapped by North Korea. Like, it was rough. And memorizing it, I did a Carl Wheezer impression, and then I also threw in a Donald Trump impression, and I combined the two, uploaded it onto YouTube for shits and giggles, logged out of the account, went back to Noah, was working on it. My buddy Sporty, shout out Sporty, or Camaro, whatever the hell you want to call him, he was like, dude, your Carl Wheezer video is blowing up. And I was like, what do you mean? I was like, what's it at, like 10K or something? And he's like, no, go look. So I go and look, and it was at like 500,000 views in like 2 weeks, and I'm like, what the hell?
I said certified free, 7 days a week. Wet ass.
It's funny, I have 3 videos, I think, that I've made that have ever hit 1 million views, and all of them are on the Carl Wheezer channel. None of them are from Noah or anything else. It was that one, and then I did Rap God, and then,
wow.
and then All I Want for Christmas Is You, which
I saw that
usually
one, yeah, that
one
was
starts
really fun.
popping up.
Yeah.
Yeah, usually around
What?
this time of the year, that one gets back in the rotation. So we'll see how it does this year. You can go check him out at Carl Wheezer VEVO on YouTube.
I'm definitely putting a part of that in the interview.
I don't wanna.
Before going down, each of you will get a backpack. 2 of them contain drain flashlights, and the script said 2 of them contain flashlights that are drained, and then 2 of them contain batteries. But it showed 3 flashlights. But in the script it said 2, so it makes me look silly because I'm like 2 of them, and it shows 3 flashlights.
Really? That's stupid.
God,
Yeah.
Billy, can you believe Steven was so stupid? He said that there was
Oh,
2
no.
flashlights and there's clearly 3.
And now trying to gaslight Jared and Robert for them
Oh,
making
yeah,
the
I
mistake.
know. What a fool.
It feels like I'm playing Big Brother again.
Some of the wildlife down there tends to get a bit quirky. If you're ever in any real danger, we'll be sure
They
to...
get a little quirky at night.
No.
Oh my god, they get a little quirky at night.
Yeah, it's clearly a Five Nights at Freddy's reference.
We'll keep the entrance lights on for a few seconds. I'm such a nice guy.
Aw, how sweet. How
Mhm.
polite.
Billy, I gotta take this time to give you your flowers. You have been so phenomenal as Trevor. It's been so fun seeing
Real,
all
Oh,
of
thank
actually.
you.
in parallel.
Oh,
with
thank
me.
you. It's just such a fun role to voice as well. I'm having the time of my life with this.
Oh, dude, you're killing it.
What do you have?
Flashlight.
There's Fiore's plot armor.
Right.
Yeah, I
yep.
know. I have the funniest story actually about the scorpions here. I live in an apartment, and my window to my bedroom, like right by my desk where I record, is this walking trail that cuts like right through the city. And like I'm in the capital of my province, so it's relatively large. Anyways, so I'm recording this here, and at one point there's Jake goes, "No, please, no more scorpions," or something like that. And while I'm like yelling that line, there's someone on the trail, and they look into my window and they yell, "What the fuck?" And then they walk away.
Do you have the clip of that? Did the mic catch that?
I don't think so, which is so sad. But
that's...
it was so funny because they're right out. Because okay, sadly, I wouldn't catch up because I'm on the second story. But they like I could see them and they turned, they looked at me and they yelled, "What the fuck?" And then they walked away.
They could have animated like an intern to deliver that line. They got like a $5,000 pledge Patreon member gets to be animated as an intern that says, "What the fuck?" as Jake.
That would have gone so hard, man. I wish I got that on mic. That's so sad.
Don't talk nonsense. We'll have to get help from one of the others.
They totally could have gone without a flashlight. Let's be so real here.
Probably. I mean, they're navigating it fine, looking for other people.
Yeah, I know. Like, it's really not, you know.
Look for Miriam or Jake.
Remotely helpful.
Yeah. Don't move.
Don't move.
Hello. Yoink.
Wouldn't that be crazy if like Fiora
He
just
dies.
got cut in half? Yeah.
Gets gutted by the scorpion.
I mean, it happens in the original Adventure Camp, so why not here?
Die on that one, yeah.
Yeah, how does that go again? I never.
She gets hit by a bus.
Yeah,
And
in the
does she for
alternative
real
ending,
die?
she gets hit by a bus and she dies.
She for real dies. She gets thrown under a bus and dies.
Nobody
W.
bets an eye when it happens either.
It's so funny.
Around here.
Ellie, it's me.
Oh, you. See
Ow.
ya.
Wait, there's a scorpion here.
More of a reason to dip. Have fun with the scorpion.
Wait, I have.
Ellie's just my least favorite.
I
ever.
really don't like her. At least
I had
Alec
to-
is like playing the game. Fiora is like,
Yeah.
Ellie's just like a dick.
Yeah, true.
Alec, like, the only time that Alec ever gets weird is when he's like complaining about his marriage struggles to Fiore. That's the only part where I'm like, Alec, what are you doing? She's like,
Yeah,
but other than that,
wishing that his son was more like her. That's just yucky.
Yeah, well, his son's on TV at home watching that, man.
Right,
Yeah, he's like,
that's so uncomfortable.
Not another scorpion, please. Yeah, it was that line.
there you go.
Kinda wish it was now.
What do you need?
Roasted.
Go away.
Facts, actually.
Unless you've got batteries.
I do, but they're not for you.
I love that the Jake quirkiness to him as well. He's a little silly.
Thank you, thank you.
You along the way.
Do you think we're gonna trust you?
I can't steal your.
Miriam
actually-
makes no sense here.
If I try to run
Yeah.
away with it, you'll catch up with me quickly.
Like, Miriam's gotta accept the fact that she's not exactly in her prime anymore, so she's probably gotta get outran by this little girl.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, she like outrode her earlier in the kayaking challenge.
Yeah.
It's obvious.
Yeah, maybe Stevie, you're just underestimating Miriam's powers here.
Maybe.
They're
think
the
you are.
fools for trusting me again. Noobs.
Noobs.
I have kind of a weird kind of, well, yeah, forgot about that for him. The body bags.
Oh, yeah.
We're nice guys, though, right, Billy?
Mm-hmm, yep, this was,
good guys.
it's just, it's ketchup. A lot of ketchup.
Animals in the forest. I was about to take justice into my.
Straight up murdering animals and stuffing them in garbage bags. The fuck?
Last time I tried, things didn't end well.
Oh, it's just ketchup, guys. Come on.
How did you know it was them?
I.
This is when Gabby gets sniped by Jensen.
CAA takes her down.
Don't mean the truth.
Unbelievable.
So I remembered that you were a cop.
I'm not though.
What? Then what are you?
Then why did I bring you here?
I was a special agent.
Well, then investigate this place.
I'll do my best.
Just do it.
I saved your life. You should.
I find it so funny that we're going from a couple of short scenes of Gabby to a full-on Gabby Tom subplot in this
I like
episode.
It. Honestly, I really like it. I think it's fun.
It's pretty fun. Yeah, it's a good distraction from the show.
When I first got cast as Jake, you know, after like they first posted the trailer or whatever with all of our voices for the first time, I had sent it to a few of my family members and stuff, and I didn't bother telling them who I played because I don't think Jake's voice is that different from a regular speaking tone. But I had several people think that I was you, Billy.
Really?
And I was like, how in the world do I sound like him?
I'll try to call your family one day, see if they believe it.
Oh yeah, will do.
What are you doing? Throw me the rope.
Bye, Alec.
Yeah, bye, Alec.
Fuck you.
Whoa!
Oh yeah, W.
Language.
Unironically based.
Is that the first time they've ever said fuck in the show?
It's yeah.
I think we should take the path
Hell
to the
yeah.
left.
I love it.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yays and boomers
I don't remember if
first.
that line is improvised. Would be kind of funny if it was.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
You did.
Writers just decided to say fuck and they kept it in.
They even
Exactly,
animate,
yeah.
like my improvised line, they even animated along with it. I was so proud.
I'm really curious.
Jake.
Oh, bye, Jake.
And
He's dead.
he fucking dies.
Cliff.
You meant for this to happen, didn't you?
Miriam, pick her up and throw her down there.
Right.
Forgot she's the knife throwing champion.
I should call Child Protective Services on you, you know?
Should you?
Ouch!
Oh my god.
Jake, are you
Hello.
okay? What
Several
happened?
broken bones.
Like you care.
He just hops right up. He don't
I have
care.
a flashlight with batteries.
No thanks. I'd rather be in the dark than. Ah!
Oh my god.
Follow me.
Fine.
Okay, fine.
Help! Anyone there?
This is a nice change of pace. This scene between these two characters.
Yeah.
Guess you won't be needing this.
Yeah, true.
This is fucking absurd.
What the hell is the matter with you? You can't steal from an old lady.
Alec?
Fiore, where are you?
See, I was hoping she would chuck a rock at him here.
That's like a stalactite. It goes right through his chest.
Yeah.
Sit tight. I'm gonna come get you.
No! Go for immunity! We can't let Ellie or Jake win!
Are you sure?
Yes! Run!
And don't even get me started on what annoys me about you the most. Tom warned me about you, and I decided, you know what? Maybe Ellie isn't such a bad person. Of course Tom was right. He's always right. And now, because of you, he won't ever talk to me again. You never were hurt like I was. You don't know what it feels like to be cheated on.
I love how Ellie just doesn't comment on it at all.
You don't care.
Only one of us can win.
If you give this to me, maybe I'll forgive you.
You know what? You can eat shit and die. And boo-hoo, aw, I got cheated on.
And here's where the victim blaming comes in from Ellie for some reason.
With the swelling music as well.
Yeah, this is supposed to be her, like, Lindsay telling off Heather moment, but she's just exposing herself as an awful human being.
It really, like, I know I'm biased here, but, like, she has to be in the wrong here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe if you weren't so annoying, your boyfriend wouldn't have cheated on you.
Yeah, like, what the hell is that line?
Oh, yeah.
Like, what is that?
Ow, hey, let go.
Hell yeah. Equal rights, equal fights.
Yeah, no, he deserves to fucking club her in the head after that one. Like, I don't care.
We're
I
getting
love the little
turned.
picnic.
This is so
Yeah.
cute.
Jeez. Jesus, finally. That line was improvised.
Oh, it's so good.
Thank you.
Four.
Yes!
Derek canonically uses the Lord's name in vain.
Wait, yo, Jensen, go find Fiore and Miriam. Yeah, go do it already, bitch.
But at least this time, she didn't get away with it.
Am I nervous about tonight's vote? Yes. I feel like I have no control. It all depends on Fiore and Alec.
In just a few short days, me and Fiore went from being enemy number one here to being the ones in control. We really are a dream team.
True, but it's also a lot of incompetence from the other people.
I'm just saying, he's a librarian. He should know it's Fiore and I, not me and Fiore. Just saying.
Go to that voting booth, write the name of the person you want to vote out, and drop that sucker in the ballot box. Chop chop peeps, I ain't got all day. There it was,
Nice.
chop chop
Yeah.
peeps.
Love it.
And then whenever they
That's
came
fun.
in, I was like, yo, losers. That was.
I like that.
Yeah, I like it.
That's good.
More
That-
Derek
that-
Sass,
that-
please.
That puts a lot more character on him.
Yeah, thank you.
Now I will read the votes and the decision will be final. The person with the most votes must leave the camp.
I wonder who it's gonna be.
I have no idea, guys.
No.
I voice Ellie, right? That's who I voice.
Uh-huh, yep.
That's why I'm here today.
Mhm.
Right, that's what I thought.
Miriam.
Keep on dreaming, bud.
I'm the voice of Miriam.
You
say keep on dreaming, that'd be my fucking nightmare, I ain't gonna lie, Chief. I am more than happy with who I voice.
Left. 10th person voted out of Disventure Camp.
I like how this was such a rushed elimination. Like, it was like, let's not even cut them. Like, let's just cut it. Cut the BS. We know who's going home.
Right, yeah.
Yo, whatever, I don't care.
He's like, get me the fuck out of here. I'm over it.
Leave me alone.
There might have been a little excitement on my part to announce Jake's departure here.
Miriam, I'm so sorry to be leaving you. Maybe if I had taken things differently, none of this would have happened.
It's okay, Jake. We can't change the past.
Thank you so much for supporting me. Everything, from my grandmother to Tom.
Don't
I'm so surprised that Miriam's still here, by the way.
and open up to anyone.
She's the goat.
But you
Yeah, she is.
patient with me
Definitely.
And taught me that I shouldn't judge people so quickly.
You may be down, but you're not out. Play your butt off, Miriam. We'll see each other when this is all over, okay?
I'd
Good.
like that. These people voted out Tom and Jake. They fooled me time and time again. They
we
think
go.
Did
my
they?
days are numbered.
Did they ever fool you?
But they don't realize who
don't know.
they're messing with. No more Mrs. Nice Gran.
Here we go. It's the
Like,
Miriam
until
arc.
The final four
Miriam
to
arc.
decide, do you want to start playing the game?
Hey, people have done dumber on actual Survivor.
Yeah.
You should know about him.
Dun dun dun. Dun 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 dun.
Truth, actually.
We get Steven to acapella all the sound effects for the rest of the season.
Oh, that would be fun.
I'll go
But
hard.
then ask Carl Wheezer, right?
No, duh.
I was surprised that Jake went when he did. I thought he was going to the finales, and then he didn't. I find it surprising that Miriam's still here, but honestly, I really like it. I love Miriam.
No, I mean, I love that Miriam's here too. Because, I mean, in the original, I mean, Jake gets third, so I kind of expected that, again, to be honest with you.
Yeah, and Miriam gets 10th, 11th or something.
Yeah, Miriam is long dead by this point.
Right, yeah.
Well, to be fair, I think fourth in the original is Nick, and we all know how that warmed out. But...
yeah, they
he could
swapped
still,
some
he could
things.
still rejoin. There's still a shot.
Right,
Nick
yeah.
rejoin
The
at Final
battle
Five twist. The battle back.
Survivor Edge of Extinction bullshit is this?
I love the fact that half of the cast starts swearing in this one, for no
Yeah.
reason.
I don't, mean to. I mean, it might just be the Atlantic Canadian in me, but I swear a lot in my regular conversation, and I
Oh,
think
hell
it's
yeah.
funny that I think Jake's probably one of the only ones who doesn't in this.
Right, yeah, he doesn't.
Series. Jake as a character is so out of my wheelhouse in terms of roles I play in theater. It's bananas actually. It was weird adopting to this kind of character.
We have such different perspectives on the game because both Billy and myself are we're the hosts. And everybody else is contestants, barring like LJ, of course. It's crazy to be on that different dynamic because, for one, it's nice job security because we know we're around every episode.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Oh yeah, but also just being able to be involved. It takes away some of that anxiety of being like terrified about if you would be one of the first few eliminated. You know,
no. Absolutely. When I got the call that I was Jake, when I got that Instagram message, and once again, totally just my imposter syndrome speaking, but I was like, for a second, I had gotten Jake and Dan confused. Because I was just like, there's no way they're giving my ass actual, like, roles in this. Because I assumed Dan was going to be the first boot again. So I was like, there's not a bad chance in hell they give my sorry ass an actual like importance and like in the narrative here.
I find it so funny that you're like guest number 3 or 4 who thinks that they got Dan. Just a natural attraction to the glasses boy, to the purple guy.
Like I said, this is like my first voice acting role. Like I am a complete outsider of this whole thing. Yeah. I didn't expect to get cast in general, let alone a pretty important character, if I do say so myself.
Yeah, for sure. Jake is definitely one of the main players of Disventure Camp.
Yeah, so I did not see that coming. I think you can see why I expected to get Dan.
Yeah.
Especially when I auditioned for like every male character, by the way, except for Will and LJ.
I did all the guys and Miriam. Just for fun.
You know what's crazy? I did Miriam too. Are you shitting me?
No way.
Wild. That is so wild. I did.
God.
Yeah.
That is amazing.
I've always done that. Like when we did Reunion, I remember sending my auditions into Adam, and he was just like, "What the hell is wrong with you?" Because I did my normal auditions for like Duncan and Owen and Jeff and all them, and then I was also like screaming as Lashana and shit like that in the audition. I've always no, he didn't. I know it was kind of absurd.
Wow.
I thought for sure I had it.
And I thought I liked Adam. Guess not anymore.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yikes! No, they've proven that they don't know who to cast as who.
Absolutely true.
No, but yeah, that was fun. But yeah, no. To speak on like auditioning for Disventure Camp, I auditioned for every single character, and then of course Miriam. I did not expect to get such an important character like what you were just saying, Josh. Like I actually thought out of all of the people that I auditioned for, it was this is like a throwback. A lot of people don't know this that are just fans of the show, so this is a little fun fact for you. Drew originally was supposed to speak, and I auditioned for Drew, and that's who I thought I was gonna get. And then I don't know if maybe I was just so bad that they decided to not have him speak at all. What it was. Luckily, I ended up getting Derek, so it's all good. And Drew was like long gone 4 episodes in, so I'm glad that didn't pan out the way that I thought it was going to.
Well, it's honestly really funny because the character Jake was like my second pick for character. My first pick was Alec because Alec is far more. Alec is
for sure.
far more in my comfort zone of characters I play. Like I was Hans in Frozen. I was Dr. Callahan in Legally Blonde. I was Mal in Addams Family. Like that's the kind of characters that like I play and I portray typically.
Yeah.
And once again, when in Cove's series in Reality Resort, I was mainly gunning for Charles, and VJ was my second pick, and then when you know it, that fucking rat bastard Rydix beat me to my main role again because he got Charles and I got my second pick again.
That's funny. I just get the asshole every time. Every show that I'm in, I get the asshole.
I've noticed.
Derek is like the asshole.
And what does this say about you?
I don't know, because in Critter Mansion, I'm Riley. Riley's the asshole.
Mm-hmm.
We look at Reunion, I was like an asshole bodyguard.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess I need to.
I mean, listen, and I've been typecast as the gay guy in both shows I'm in, so I mean, there's that to go over, I suppose.
That's funny.
Yeah, no, I had the exact same thing as you, Stevie. I also was hoping to get a role. Like I thought a little naively, like it would be good for the marketing department on their side as well. Like with me being one of the bigger people to cover Disventure Camp. At the time, I thought like maybe like a speaking role in 1 or 2 episodes, like a little guest role. And then I got the confirmation like, you're Trevor, and was like, wait, who's Trevor again? Oh wait, he's one of the hosts.
Oh my god, yeah.
Huh? Yeah, that was and it's so fun to do as well.
Yeah.
I don't know if y'all get this a lot because you play the host, but like one of my favorite things is like when I go onto Twitter or whatever, and I get so much like Jake fan art like in my feed. It's like super cool to see. I love seeing that kind of stuff.
I've been seeing there's a couple of people that are very loyally making Trevor fan art, and I've enjoyed every piece of it. It's so cool to see.
Oh yeah, it's awesome to see. You can basically go to the Odd Nations Instagram page at any time and see it on their story.
Yep. I think with that, we are going to wrap this episode up here, guys. Thank you so much for joining us today. So, guys, as always, I would like to give you the opportunity to like plug your social media and channels and whatever or not. Josh, shall I start with you? Where can people find more of you?
I suppose so. Well, just more of me on YouTube at Walker Ranger, and then at Twitch when I occasionally stream there. I typically don't anymore, although I did play Overwatch with Genesis not too long ago. My Twitch is Walker Ranger is live. You can find me there. I also have Instagram, which or my Twitter, which is the same name pretty much, where I post some speedrunning clips because I've been speedrunning Mario Odyssey lately. But yeah, no, that's mainly it.
Stevie, what about you? Any channels and social media that you would like to plug?
Oh gosh, where to begin? Just go check me out on Stevie G on YouTube. Go watch that Survivor video. We hosted it in Phoenix. It was fun. It was awesome. It's one of my favorite projects I've ever done. So definitely go check that out. And then obviously, you want to watch me on Noah, go watch that stuff. We're making the comeback.
Obviously on Carl Wheezer VEVO.
Yeah,
yes,
of course.
Carl Wheezer VEVO has to be there. Yeah.
Yeah, and as always, make sure you go follow Michael Kim on Instagram because he's beautiful.
That's true.
That's it. That's all I got.
Go follow Total Drummer Ricky as well.
Yeah, go follow Ricky.
Or Toon Ricky.
I would like to also throw in the ring Odd Nation Cartoons. Thank you so much for this episode once again.
I guess them too.
Yeah, them too. Fine, it's fine. If you
blow the comments up for Ricky. We need a Ricky interview. Get the Ricky interview, guys.
Ricky interview now.
Release the Ricky cut.
The Ricky.
Bring Ricky in here.
Sure. Well, we'll invite Ricky over someday.
Thank God.
Go watch Odd Nation Cartoons, and if you're also busy with subscribing to all these lovely people, then make sure to also drop a little subscribe on the channel here as well. Guys, thank you so much for joining me. I've had a lot of fun today here.
It was lovely. It was absolutely lovely being here.
Yeah, it was so fun.
How I've dreamed of this day.
All right, sweet. Well, guys, I'll talk to you guys later. You can say bye or something.
Oh, bye. Sorry.
Bye. Right, so before we end up this video, I would like to give a special shout out to the Silly Billy members. So thank you so much for the support. Media Films, Meffers, Callan Strimbu, Slurpee, TD Freddy G, Gietergeit, Javi Koopa, Immer Gaming, and Hoshi Moshi for your continuous support on the Silly Billy channel. It helps out a lot, and I really appreciate all the support that I'm given. And if you would like to become a Silly Billy member yourself, then all you need to do is go down to the comment section and check out the little join button. I don't know what it's called in other languages. For me, it's just become member. So maybe it's something like that for you as well. It's the big button next to my name, not the subscribe button, which you should also press. I'm making this more complicated than it is. Look for the button, join the program. It's only like $2 and you get all the advantages that higher tiers would also get, because I want you to be a part of this. So consider joining it to get episodes 2 days earlier, get special shoutouts, emotes, badges, and all that kind of good stuff. For now though, I am going to bed, and then in the morning I'm going to edit this, which you will not know because you will only see this when the entire thing is done. Right. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. This has been Silly Billy, and remember, victim blaming is cool if you're the main character. Houdoe!